We please confirm you can hear me, please.
Yes, we can hear you.
Jazakumullah khairan kaseeran. Alhamdulillah, we give thanks to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us the opportunity to witness today's program. We ask Allah in His infinite mercy to make it a beneficial one for us in this world and in the hereafter. Ameen. We'll be giving time to. We sincerely apologize for starting late. We equally want some of our brethren also to be beneficial part of this program. We ask Allah to continue to guide each and every one of us. We still indulge us to please send the link to those in our contacts, reach out to our family members, and let's ensure that at least they try as much as possible to join today's monthly forum. So we'll be starting with the opening dua by calling Madam Abdul Karim Adinekon to give us the opening dua. Bismillah.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. We give thanks for Almighty Allah, who out of infinite mercy made this possible for us to gather here this night. I pray unto Him that as we are starting today's discussion, today program, we pray to Almighty Allah to guide the tongue of the presenter, and we pray to Almighty Allah to make the lecture to benefit us here and here after us, as we are all longing, awaiting the blessed month of Ramadan. We pray to Almighty Allah to make us start it, finish it, and have many more in our life in good health. والعصر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم كريم.
صلى الله عليه وسلم. صلوا على النبي الكريم.
صلى الله عليه وسلم.
صلى الله عليه وسلم. جزاكم الله khairan to our brother. So we'll move to the recitation of the glorious Quran, which should be done by Malam Ismail Adebayo. Malam Ismail, confirm you're the.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وآت ذا القربى حقه والمسكين وابن السبيل ولا تبذر تبذيرا إن المبذرين كانوا إخوان الشياطين وكان الشيطان لربه كفورا وإما تعرضن عنهم ابتغاء رحمة من ربك ترجوها فقل لهم قولا ميسورا ولا تجعل يدك مغلولة إلى عنقك ولا تبسطها كل البسط فتقعد ملوما محسورا إن ربك يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء ويقدر إنه كان بعباده خبيرا بصيرا ولا تقتلوا أولادكم خشية إملاق نحن نرزقهم وإياكم إن قتلهم كان خطأ كبيرا
صدق الله العظيم. صدق الله العظيم. وبلغ رسول الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين. آمين. جزاكم الله خيرا كثيرا. We sincerely thank our brother, and we ask Allah to grant us the better understanding of what he has read. Ameen. Please, before moving to the next on the agenda, we'll still seek our indulgence to please at least reach out to people in our contacts. send the link to them. I think the link has been sent to each and every one of us. And we can also reach out to those within and outside our contacts so as for them to be part of the beneficiary of what today is. We'll move to what is next on the agenda, which is meeting the facilitator, giving us a short background of who our facilitator is. Mr. Abdulwasi Ayola is a management consultant and a business mentor of distinct repute with special interest in growing young talent, building capacity of young and experienced professionals, providing human capital development and entrepreneurship education opportunities for all ages, and also passionate about leadership and business development. He is a well-groomed business development specialist and a chartered strategist. He has practiced as a valued-added business coach and management consultant for over 2 decades. He is currently a PhD scholar from Department of Business Administration, UNILAG, where he also badged his first and second degree. He is the current General Manager, AVIC Leadership Academy of NASFAT, a training institution where talent are discovered and groomed to full potentials and ethical leaders for the best future development. Join me in welcoming our lecturer for today in person of Mr. Abdulwasi Ayola, popularly known as Coach. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaba bikun. You have the floor, sir. Naam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Coach. So I'll be introducing also our chairperson in person of Star Rashida Ali, while our mother of the day is Ajia Basiro Onile Gbale. We say Jazakumullah khairan to each and every one of us. Um, Likewise, today's topic still remains the fundamentals of zero-based budgeting for household finances. The fundamentals of zero-based budgeting for household finances.
Please,
Mr. Ayola, you can speak up. Yes, you can
please,
unmute.
moderator, help me make AVEC leadership a co-host so I can share my slide.
Oh, okay, okay. Malam Habib.
So the host is there. I think it's can hear you.
Okay, okay.
Then you can also make Maruf Adeni onto a call. That's the
Yes, so
second
that I can
time.
project.
What I'm looking at is can you hear us?
Malam, look at me.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, Maruf Adeni, just make him a co-host, please.
AVEC leadership.
So while trying to do that, please, let's try as much as possible to get the link of today's program. Send it to at least minimum of 5 people within your reach. And alhamdulillah, I think the participants so far, we have the total number of 35. Okay. Now, over to you, sir.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Loud and clear. You can put it on slideshow, sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. الحمد لله وسبحان الله عدد خلقه ورضا نفسي وزنة عرشي ومداد كلماته. ثم الصلاة والسلام على النبي المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وسلم. All thanks, sense of gratitude and adoration belongs to Allah, the beginner without a beginning. And the only one that will remain, and nothing shall remain after him at the end of this life. The bestower of life, the bestower of knowledge, the bestower of wisdom. We will continue to praise him and thank him for his unlimited favor over us as Muslims. MSSN Lagos Middle Area Council Legacy Forum is a community of present and past MSS leaders from that area council. And it's a journey some of us were part of. Some of us were friends. We attended the same school some 20 years ago. But as Allah we have it, all of us are doing fine in our various locations. Some are not in Nigeria, but the spirit is still current. We are still very much attached to the home front. May Allah continue to strengthen the community, strengthen our union, and continue to bless whatever we are doing together for the benefit of our collective progress, benefit of Islam and Muslims. I would like to welcome all of us by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. The topic given to me is much relevant. Looking at the fact that we are still at the beginning of the year. We are still in the Q1 of another calendar year. However, it is better to plan our budget before the commencement of the year. I remember a budget I submitted last was November last year. And the deadline for approval was December 31st. So we can take note of it. Whatever we are learning here today, it's better to plan ahead. May Allah put blessing in whatever we are able to do. Amen.
Amen.
I will start with an icebreaker. Which of the following phrases best describe Nigeria? Is it a country with rich people, or a country with a rich country with poor people, a poor country with rich people, or a poor country with poor people? Who can break the ice? I would like to listen to responses from us.
Number
Who
one.
are going to contribute?
Number one, a rich country with rich people.
A rich country with rich people. Are you right? Okay, can we? That's a good try. Thank you. Can we have another contribution?
Now, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Nigeria is a rich country with poor people.
A rich country with poor people. Okay, that's a very good insight too. Do we have any other contribution? Any other contribution? Or you support the last speaker?
Yes, the last speaker is supported.
You support the last
Okay.
speaker.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like
Now
to share a view. Can I
Okay.
share?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I also
A
feel it's
rich
also a
country
poor
with
country
poor people.
with rich people. Option 3, a poor
Okay.
country with rich people.
A poor country with rich people. Okay. Somebody say a rich country with poor people. So we have seen three
Option B.
options.
Option
Yes.
B.
So any other different option? Because we have 4 on board here.
Any other option is a counterfeit.
Okay, that's an opinion. But let me make both to tell us that we are all correct. Whichever option you choose, you are correct. As long as you can justify it. And that is what zero budgeting is all about. Zero budgeting is about coming up with an expense estimate that you are not just coming up with it. You must be able to prove and justify it. If you tell me that Nigeria is a rich country with rich people, I agree with you. To an average European country, they don't believe we are poor. Because each time we come to United States, United Nations meetings, we always demonstrate our avarice there, that we are too rich. We'll come with like 2 aircrafts, presidential aircraft and followers aircraft. The last time we went to our escapade of jeeps following president, whereas president of European nation, 4 of them can come with just a car. So if you say Nigeria is a rich country with rich people, with that kind of portrayal at the international level, it is right. Average European believe that we are rich. That's just the truth, the way we portray ourselves. And research has confirmed that Nigeria are conspicuous spenders. Nigerians are conspicuous spenders. We like to boast that we have money to spend. And we show it at the smallest level. When we go to Mr. Biggs, when we come out with nylon bag, we raise it up. Go and do your research. It's a research that will be completed. When we go to ShopRite, we have to take the landlord to our place of work and discuss it. Next day, that I went for a shopping. But when we go to a mama put that has no name, we don't show it. We keep the landlord because the landlord has no tag. The truth is, we like to boast of what we have. And that is why you see an average Nigerian, when they buy television, they'll put the package in the passage so that every other person that pass have problem knocking it, if not falling them down. Until they will ask, ta ló gbé kíní síbi? Pálí television tí bọ̀dá Ṣẹ́gun rà ni. That is Nigerian for you. We like to show people we have arrived. A rich country with poor people. That is mostly right to our present condition now. Our present state as a nation, we are still rich. Because even when the new president of United States threatened to deport our people, and even when Canada insulted our military officials, we have our ministers and the presidency telling them, no problem, to hell with them. So we are a rich country. So we can claim we have poor people because when we look at the multi-dimensional indices of poverty, we score very high. Nigeria's score is above 60%, 65% in terms of poverty. We have more than 65% of Nigeria living below $2 in a day. It's very painful. So you can say we are a rich country in terms of mineral resources, in terms of quality people, but spread all over the world. They are not benefiting us directly, except for their inflow, for those who decide to send money back home. But majority that are within the country are poor currently. So the wealth is concentrated in the hands of less than 10%. It is unfortunate. A poor country with rich people, yes, it's a perspective, and you could be right. A poor country in the sense of when we compare our budget, the present budget is around 52 trillion plus. A budget of just a state, California alone, is around 300 trillion dollar. So how can you now be comparing that with the 52 trillion economy? So we are far away from there. So our budget, for us to really show we are rich, need to be far, far, far beyond what we have now. But we still have rich people. We still have majority of the budget going into the recurrent expenditure, going into few people, few hands. And they have all they can do with it. You see them living flamboyant lifestyles. A poor country with poor people. The truth is, when your country look poor in terms of disposable income, what is accrued to individuals in that economy? The people there are poor. Even in terms of mentality, you see them demonstrating that poverty. The greatest poverty is poverty of the mind. The greatest asset you can train is the mind. Currently, Nigerians have poor mentality about everything. So in terms of mentality, we can say it's a poor country with poor people, because we consume more than 90% of what we don't produce. So very painful. All these things can be argued. They are debatable. But the truth is that the insight to them is the country can do better than now. And if the country has failed to even do better than that, what of individual level? And that is why we are treating this topic today. So at the individual level, we can improve our words. There's a saying that you can be the change you so much desire. So if we improve our own personal budgeting system, not following the federal government own, where we see a lot of money being budgeted, and in terms of performance, you will not see them telling us that. And each time they were called to come and defend the budget, do performance analysis, they are always a foul cry or people in authority crying for wolf every time. So issue of corruption are there and other challenges. But at individual level, we can do a lot more. And that is why we are having this lecture today. Looking ahead, we will understand what zero-based budgeting is all about, the principles, and apply it to our personal finance management, assess the quality of a good budget. So before you can call a budget a good budget, what does it mean? Applying the budgeting fundamentals to managing our household finance. So how does it affect us? Then towards financial stability. At the end of the day, all we are looking for, why we want to learn about budgeting, is to have financial stability and independence. Having to make do with what we have and live in abundance in terms of management of our limited resources. Then we'll conclude. So these are some of the highlights I've planned for this lecture. As a way of introduction, I've done some of them with that icebreaker. But research has also revealed that it is easier to set up a family than to run it successfully with all its requirements for success. Is that true of us? Do you disagree with me? That it is easier to set up a family because you can see any Muslim sister and approach her and marry her, Cajonia or whatever, with whatever you have. Well, it's not easy to lead a successful family at the end of the day. Research has also revealed that money is the root of most human problems. And human problem is not devoid of family and marital issues. Most of the family and marital problem you see today, that you see court cases, come and separate us. You see Sharia panel, Sharia arbitration panel, arbitration committee of different mosques, disturbing imams, central mosques, and the rest. Money, the problem. By the time you look at the problem deeply, it's money. Money take almost 70% of the problem. Because a husband that cannot meet up with the monetary demand, financial requirement of the home, he is no more or less no husband in the modern world. Most of the young ladies now, they use finance as a money, as a criterion. In fact, to some of them, it is so criterion for going into a relationship. I can't marry that poor afa. And you see even those of us that are already grandma and grandpa, we are falling into the same pit. We always say, afa tí ó lówó lọ́wọ́ yẹn, tí òun ló fẹ́ lọ fẹ́. So the family won't lówó lọ́wọ́. So it has been a criterion to evaluate whether you are even doing well at the family life. Financial problem has rocked down many families, and Muslims are not what? Are not exempted. That's what I want to write. So we can define budget. Budget, simply put, is a financial estimate. So it's a plan of revenue and expenditure you design over a period of time. And it's a plan you have for yourself to implement for the next 1 year, but expressed in monetary terms. So budgets have different system of drawing it. It could be incremental when you base it on what happened last year. That is based on former budget. It could be based on actual figures at hand. We'll be looking at that later. And compile either through what we call zero-based budgeting. However, budgetary control is key. And you must build that in your design of budgets ab initio. So what is zero-based budgeting? Let me inform us, zero-based budgeting is just one of the systems of budgeting. There are about 9 systems. You see them later, I will show them. It's a budgeting approach that involves allocating every single naira, in Nigerian sense now, every single naira or resource you have, your expectation of income, to a specific expense. Starting from ground zero, starting from zero base. Allocating what you are expecting as income, every single naira, to specific expense. You are not leaving any stone unturned. So it also means that every expense must be justified and approved. And that's what I mentioned when we are doing icebreaker. Rather than relying on historical spending patterns. That is the way I went to school. When I was in Unilag, this is where I spend money. No, that is not a zero-based budgeting. How you spend money when you're in Unilag some 20 years ago is not what is obtainable now. It's not what is obtainable now. What you buy with 500 naira then, 500 cannot do the work now. So you can also base budget on inflation-adjusted mode. Household finance management is all about how effective are we in the area of managing personal and family finance. How effective are we managing personal and family finance? So let's move. Features of a good budget. A good budget must allow for participation. At the family level, if your budget will be accurate, you must allow every member of the family to participate. Your wife, your spouse, essentially must be involved. And your children must be involved. Otherwise, you will be spending some money that are not needed. And I can give you an example. There was a particular idea I wanted to do. I was thinking of buying RAM or not buying RAM. And I told my children, okay, I've got money for RAM, but what is left now? He said that we are going to only fry the RAM and use gari to drink it, or we buy rice. School resumption is coming following week. After I did idea, I would like to. My wife was of opinion that let's go and buy shoes for the children. The cost of buying shoes that time is almost equal to the cost of buying rice. And everybody feeling happy on the day of Eid. Then I have to call family meeting. That is what is called participation. At least we are a family of 8. And when I call family meeting as a Senate president, I allow floor member to contribute. To my surprise, the children supported that. I should not buy any shoe. You can see why you must involve your children in your budget. I should not buy any shoe. That they already have 3 shoes. They will wear one of them to Eid. And after Eid, do they need shoe again? That I should use the money to buy rice for them. Oh. I should buy rice because they must enjoy their salary. And that's how the Senate president made final decision. So when you don't involve your family in decision making, especially at the household level, you are going to have challenge. You are going to be having challenge with decision making. You must involve your wife, any family occasion, any family outing, any family expense. You must involve her. You must involve your children when it concerns them, because they may even give you insight on the way out. Comprehensiveness. Embrace everybody. Everybody that budget will affect should be involved. And it must be comprehensive in the sense that it must deal with all your cost centers, those things you spend money on. Your rent, school fees, family monthly upkeep, your transportation to your workplace, that of your wife, everything must be inclusive. Then you must have standards. You must have standards when you are making budget. In terms of comprehensiveness, it must involve all your cost centers and all your revenue centers. Those money you make regularly, those ones you make occasionally. So there must be standard you establish for performance. That if you are spent up to so amount, then the remaining is your buffer. It's what you have kept to take care of emergency. So you must have standard for measuring whether you are doing well in terms of your budget. You must have standards. Standards are the metric you put in place to guide you in decision making while implementing the budget. Even when you want to evaluate the budget, those standards are equally important. You can now know how far so far. Flexibility. Your budget must allow for changes circumstances. And that is what I've demonstrated in that scenario I narrated to us. Feedback. Your budget must allow for feedback. You must be able to monitor performance, monitor progress. How far was your spending last year? What are those things you are able to spend money most on? Are they more of planned activities or unplanned activities? You need to query yourself. And that is ability to track your budget will enable feedback, effective feedback. Scholars will always say feedback is a gift. You can ask your children too. Most of those things I said I will do this year for you, how many of them am I able to do? Yes, it's also part of feedback so that you know that you have not achieved even 40% of your planned activities, so that your case is not like federal government of Nigeria. Analysis of costs and revenues must be ingrained in your budget, and it must cover all the different areas of what you do at the family level. In place of work, it must cover all departments, must cover all your product line and all your cost centers, like I mentioned the other time. Classification of budgeting system, you can see them at a go. There are 9 of them. What we are discussing today is zero-based budgeting, the one that ensures that You start from ground zero. Based on your expectation, you allocate money to every aspect of your cost centers. Incremental budgeting, the one you build on based on your expenses last year. Some company, what they spent last year, they will just add 30% to it. If the inflation, at times some of them are inflation adjusted budget. If the inflation is not at 5%, you just add 35% or 40% to what they spent last year. And that is, they have given room for 5% profit region. Because once you spend above it, once you are able to save or you are able to make money above inflation, you are doing better. So that is incremental budgeting. Then activity-based budgeting, you can base your budget based on certain activities you have identified. Activities you'll be doing, like for non-profit organization now, most of your program can occupy major items of your budget. And also your expenses side will be based on those projects, like inflow and outflow. But that is not actually the money. But it must, the actual meaning, it must be based on activities you are doing. Value-based budgeting, that is based on value creation. If you create value, and that's what brings most of the money you get, that applies to social entrepreneurs, the owners of NGOs, that are non-profit. Based on your value creation, you can use it to budget what you want to do. Flexible budget is the one that recognizes that environment change, the economy changes, a lot of things can change. So it's the one that allows for immediate adjustments in your budgeting system. Priority-based budget is when you identify some things that have to be done based on the objective you have set for yourself for the year, and you are able to prioritize that. We are going to spend 60% of our income, whatever revenue we generate, on all these priority projects, while those that are of less priority, we take a 40% is enough to take care of them. Cash flow, budget based on your inflow, outflow. This is what I'm using where I'm working. So my budget for 1 year is spread over 12 months, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And based on availability of fund, money can be deployed. So it's like a spreadsheet that shows inflow and outflow in my budget. And you can see everything in the spreadsheet as a whole. What I need in January, I can see it. What I need in terms of income in February, I can see it in a cash flow budgeting system. Envelope budgeting. That's interesting. That's interesting. So the envelope budgeting also look at some particular item you have identified for yourself that you need to focus on. It could be transport, it could be your real estate project. So you consider those things as important and you identify, you factor them in your budgeting system. This last one, most of us always do it, and some of us still don't do it, where you apply percentage to your expenditure. That I'm expecting 50% income from this area, and whatever I get from this area, the minimum, I'm expecting 50%. I'm going to apply 20% on this, and 30% on particular expense, and 20% will go into my saving or will be my emergency funding. So these are some of the things people do. But our concern here today is zero budgeting. So what are the principles of zero budgeting? You are starting from zero. You are not starting from there is any money in the account. You are starting from whatever you see is what you allocate expenses on. And you must be able to justify it as you are seeing those money based on what you have planned for yourself. So you must be able to justify every expense. And in accounting term, you must have procurement procedure for it. There must be approval. The fact that a budget is approved does not mean money is approved to go out. So the approval process must be, the invoice system must meet reality, and everything must be justified. Every kobo that need to go out of the organization or your fact must be justified. If you have not planned to buy new television in your budget this year for your family, so you can't just bring it in, because it must be justified. Is there a need for a new television? The television at home is still not showing color again, or it has broken into 3D. Even if the television have problem along the line, then you must be able to take money from your emergency fund, which percentage you have allocated in your zero budgeting system. So these are some of the things. So you must be able to justify everything you want to do. Then you must prioritize expenses. You must prioritize expenses alongside what is urgent, what is important. What is urgent, what is important must be given highest priority. What is urgent but not important cannot take priority over what is urgent, what is important. Some things are important, but they are not urgent. For example, to buy ram for Ileya festival, they are important, but it's not urgent. It's not urgent. You can plan for it. Ileya is coming around June. Start planning for it. You can save 30,000 for the next 4 months. No matter the cost of ram, you will see 120,000 ram to buy. Because it is important your family feel happy on the day of Salah, but it is not urgent. So don't make it emergency plan and start looking for money to borrow to buy Ileya ram. So you must prioritize your expenses and must be alignment with your family objective for that year. So if you are doing business, must be in alignment with your business objective. Then allocate resources. Like we have said earlier on, you must allocate every naira to prioritize expenses. And that is what is called zero budgeting system. Then there are some fundamentals we must also understand in making this system work effectively. You must understand what incomes are, what savings are, what investments are. They are fundamental. They are fundamentals of finance and financial literacy. Income simply refers to flow of money received by you or the entire family, whether husband and wife, even children are working. All the total income coming in, whether through wages, salary, investment, or even gifts that they give to your children, all those visitors that come, you must plate piggy hole for them. Income. When we are young, our parents made sure that we too were generating income. It could be autonomous income that we don't plan for. Maybe visitor of our daddy come and give us money. My mom will tell you, yeah, go and drop it inside Kolo. So all of them put together, that is understanding of income at the family level. Then understanding saving. The art of setting aside a portion of your income, like what we are teaching our children to do, we too must do it. And it's better, it is taken from the source. If you make it automatic, that's the better way to do it. Some of us are involved in a job. It's good. We can even do direct debit. Open an account that money will be going to. There are some apps that can even help us to save better now. So whatever you take out of your income, the income we are talking here is disposable income. After pension has been taken, after interest, after what's it called, tax has been removed from your income, the one you take home, the real income. So what you now set from it, that is safe on a long time basis, that is what is called savings. And you can deposit to your saving account or special saving account. Then the purpose you need it for should not be to go and to turn yourself to another bank, you'll be borrowing people money. But it must be for project, must be for some things, it could be for emergency, it could be for certain objective, long-term objective you have set for yourself, including retirement, your retirement life. Understanding investment. Investment refers to the allocation of money or resources into assets. What do we mean by that? Some of the money you also take from that disposable income so that could be in terms of stock, it could be in terms of bond, it could be in terms of real estate. In fact, people are doing greatly. I read about one woman, she worked for 27 years. She just retired last year, December. She worked for 27 years in the insurance industry, and she has been able to save and invest, target investment, and she has been able to amass to herself not less than 2 billion worth of investment. And he said, I'm retiring well. He said, I'm retiring well. And she left work after serving 27 years, and she started work 25 years. So you can see. So you can retire early when you have a very good investment plan. Understanding consumption. Consumption refers to the purchase of or use of goods and services to satisfy your individual or household needs, wants, and desires. And at this level, we must differentiate wants from needs. Needs are what you actually need to survive. Want is general. Everybody wants better life. Everybody wants to be president. Go and meet. Forget about what people are discussing about the president of Nigeria. If they give the person the opportunity to be president, you will take it. It's a want. But those that will actually become president are those that need it. You must join political party. You must work for it. So the same thing goes to the area of needs. What you actually need has gone beyond desires. Is now what you need to survive, to grow, to develop. So it's not just general wants. At times, they may be part of your want, but they are the most essential aspect of your life that you must cater for from time to time. Then we must understand assets. Assets in real sense are things of value you own. Things you own, things that you can claim they are my own. But they are not just your own. They are capable of generating revenue or income for you within their lifespan. They have generating benefits. They can generate money for you. That is asset. If you have knowledge and that knowledge is generating money for you, that knowledge is asset. If you need to learn a skill, ICT skill, and at the end of the day, that skill is not generating money for you, you're able to build app, build this, build that, AI, technology, you're able to develop, and people are subscribing and you are making money. That knowledge that skill become an asset for you, whether it is tangible or intangible. That's the definition of asset. It's not just in terms of property, it's not just in terms of real estate or land you own. It's in terms of whatever you own that is of value, that have the generating benefits throughout their lifespan. On the other hand, liabilities in financial sense means obligations, debt you need to settle, or what keep consuming or reducing your income. That's the technical meaning. Most time in personal finance, a lot of us indulge in liabilities. Even our phone can be liabilities. Our television can be liabilities. Our cars can be liabilities. What they don't fall in the category of the need, and it's not translating to assets. So they become liabilities. So the question is, do you always crave for more assets or liabilities? Take for instance now, some of our wives, after wedding, they gave them a lot of plates. I know Muslim women that have plates up to 20 dozens at home, 12 times 20, 12 times 10 at home, coolers like 10. And they just pack it there. Some of the cooler now, they are there for 5 years, not generating money. And you call that one asset. It's not asset, it's liability. We even pay money to put insecticide there to kill cockroach inside it and wash it every year and continue to spend money on what is not generating money for you. Why are you keeping those cooler? And some of us are not even doing naming ceremony. You say it's for naming ceremony. Some of us have stopped giving back. That's just the truth. Which naming ceremony are you doing? Most of us now we give our festival, our occasion or event needs. We give it to event managers, caterers to manage it for us. So go and look for people that need those coolers so that those coolers will be generating money for you. Turn those liabilities that you are spending money on to kill cockroach, to wash them every month, turn into assets. Let them, because they have generating benefits. Find caterers in your area. You will see that one big cooler now is as much as 3,000 to 4,000 per day. And you have 10. You can see how you have been shortchanging yourself. So the question is, do you crave for more assets or liabilities? We need to answer that question. It's very important. So the need for budgeting. Generally, we need budget to compel us as a manager of our life about our future. Budget will make it compelling for you to plan for your future. Will make it compelling for you to control your spendings. That is number one need and importance. Then budget also helps you to coordinate and communicate better to the family. I'm not spending more than that. Because in our annual budget, so we are not spending outside it. Let us manage what we have. So budget helps you to communicate better because you are talking in terms of what the family has as a capability before spending. Clear definition of area of responsibility is also spelled out by a very good budget. So you'll be able to know as a father what you need to give priority, even when anybody is contributing, whether the wife or children. That can be the major aspect of the income. So you must provide the income, and Allah will provide for us when we know our responsibility very well. So budget helps you to clarify your responsibility. It also provide basis for your performance appraisal. You can compare last year's spending with upper year, 2023 versus 2024. That will allow you, based on the variance you have seen, to plan better for this year. That is budget for you. Enable remedial action. Yes, because you have checked what you planned last year and at December what you have spent. What is the difference? Very, very important. They motivate employee to participate in the budget. At the level of household now, it motivates every member of the family to be part of it. Improve allocation of scarce resources. Like I give you an example of my own. Instead of spending your money, don't know where to spend your money, then budget will allow you to manage, enabling you to take the right decision at the right time. So the need for zero budget, very apt. Number one, it improves cost management because you are not just spending money. You are spending money on what is justified, what is proven, and that makes you to optimize your resource allocation at the end. So it's also increased transparency because it allows for participation. All expenses are laid bare. So everybody participates in it. Everybody is bringing something to the table. You are considering all income from all corners. You are also considering all major and minor expenses for the year. Better decision making. So with your budgeting too, you can take the right decision. You know what is need as different from want, and you know what are prioritized expenses for every period in your budgeting outlay. Then it helps you to reduce waste. That's the most important function of any budget. And you'll be able to take action quickly where you are not doing so well. You have spent money on most of the things you have not planned. You have spent money even beyond emergency, or emergency is taking much of your money. It means you are not managing something very well. Why are things becoming emergency to you? Even pregnancy is not an emergency. Pregnancy is not an emergency because pregnancy has given you 9 months notice. It's not an emergency according to scholars. So budget improve allocation of your resources in a nutshell. So what are the common problems? What are the common problems? So generally, budget to so many people may put some pressure on you. Yes, but you just have to be flexible in managing those pressure. Especially when you are the type that have inaccurate recording, you are going to have challenge. Because anytime you want to spend, you need to go back to your budget. When you obtain cost estimate from a caterer, you need to go back to your budget. What do you want to spend on the wedding of your daughter, the wedding of your son? You need to go back to your budget and see whether you are doing things right. So it puts some pressure on you. So it's one of the problems. And some people don't like it. And it can cause a katakata between husband and wife. But you need to understand that you are spending according to plan. At times, it brings conflicts. So there could be conflict between husband and wife. So we need to show understanding. And when it comes to companies, it happens across departments of work division. It is also difficult to reconcile personal and corporate goals. At times, you may have challenge sacrificing your personal need for the family need, because we are discussing household now. So there should be some level of sacrifices, and it should be identified in the family budget. So what you want to spend for what is most important and prioritize expenses against what the whole family wants. If it is business, you must avoid conflict between personal spending and your company profitability goal. So waste is also one of the issues. Yes, it's also one of the issues. Some people believe that they must spend everything they see. Inflation bad thing, they can know what that is. You must spend according to plan. It's very important. Responsibility versus controlling. Yes, some people believe that when you are implementing budget, you are controlling them. Even our wives, even husband too. It might be your wife that is insisting on budget and it will look like somebody is controlling you. But the truth is that it's a way of life of spending below your means. Managers may overestimate costs, yes, and that may create problem in future. So it happens to us again when our budget is not realistic. So we need to consider costs and make it realistic. At times, we may underestimate. It's not only overestimate, it's also a problem. It's also a problem. You can see part of the we said the other time that they allow you to monitor, to get feedback. If you don't have, there are some software now, some apps that enable you to track your expenses. If you employ those technology, every day your personal expenses and that even money you give to your wife, you have a place you are putting it on that tab, and it can give you a score sheet daily or monthly. Can give you your personal finance score sheet. So there are tools that can help us to do that very well. We can explore. Let us explore Play Store. Just put it personal budgeting tracking device. So and you will see you'll be marveled by a lot of help you can get in terms of technology to monitor. Even there are tools that can help us to save, that can alert us, and they can deduct money from our account and put it in another account to save. And there are some organizations also providing the services. I don't want to advertise an organization. Lack of prioritization is also a problem of budget. If you don't prioritize your spending, you may end up spending money in what you did not plan mostly. Insufficient emergency funding. Please, in every budget, you must allocate minimum of 10% of the total revenue for emergency. And you can't save more than 30%. Otherwise, you are not doing better. When you also live beyond your means too, it's also a problem. You won't be able to have money for emergency. Always live under your means. And those are some of the tips I'm going to reel out later. Unrealistic expectations. Don't compare your family with other family. Because I've seen people doing that, whether Muslim sister or not. Don't compare yourself with other family. You are not another family. You are your family. And every family is unique. Nobody will come and tell you the whole money they are making in their family. So there's no need for comparison. I've seen where a sister sees rice in another home and is telling the husband, why are we not buying one bag of rice? Are you the same? You are not the same. You are not the same. In some family, they can't buy one bag of rice. Like in my own family, I don't like buying bag of rice because I don't like keeping bag of rice at home where people are suffering. If I buy bag of rice, I may end up sharing half to people that are hungry. So don't compare your family. Don't compare your family. Live within the means of the family, not comparison. Life, that is not what life is all about. If you want to compare your family, compare in terms of righteousness, not in terms of spending. Keeping rice at home, buying something in bulk. It's not in your own family. You may not be able to buy things monthly. It might be weekly. It might be daily. It's how it applies to you. In some family, the husband may give the wife the money she's going to spend for 3 months, the money she's going to spend for 1 month. But in your own family, it might be just a week or 2 weeks money you can get, or even daily. What is important that the family is funding what he has planned and the budget is moving. That's what is important. No room for comparison. And that is what always cause problem at the household level. Yes, some of the problem at the household, poor management of personal or household finance is lack of financial planning. When you don't plan what you want to do for a whole year, like I said, you must have done that last year, December, in the last quarter. If you don't plan to succeed, you might have planned to fail. You must have planned to fail unknowingly. So we need to look at it. So always plan what you want to do in a year. Even plan for 3 years, plan for 5 years. It's very important. But annual plan is important that we carry everybody along in the family. Impulse spending. Yes. You don't buy everything you see. Some of us now, when we enter bus, we'll buy. We'll buy what anybody's advertising. Did you plan for that? That's the question. The question is, have you planned for what you are buying? So we end up doing overspending, buying what we have not planned for, and we end up in financial stress and debt at times. Some of us, because of our friend, we are going to somewhere together and is buying shoe. The friend will lure us into debt because we are not disciplined. We engage in impulse buying, spending. So we need to be very careful. Research has confirmed that people who plan before they go to market, they buy well. And people who don't plan end up in not buying right, end up in debt. You have 200,000 to go and buy something in my 12, and you don't have budget, you have planned, you are going to end up wasting the money. Research has confirmed it. Because you will see sugarcane, you go and buy. You will see bet you have not planned for, you go and buy. At the end of the day, those things you have planned to buy, you will not be able to meet up. Then inadequate emergency funding is an issue. And we need to look at that aspect of that emergency funding. Do you have proper plan for everything you do, such that most of your things don't fall under emergency? Emergency here is matter of life and death. If you have taken care of some things, most of the things will not fall under emergency. You are taking care of your health care by enrolling for even Lashma of Lagos State. Enroll for it is 40,000 naira on a family of 4 of 6. If your family is more than that, it is 80,000 and thereabout. So you are still going to take care of, you can see with 40,000, with 6,000, you are taking care of the family need in terms of health. So that would not be in emergency funding again because it's one-off. So, and so on like that. High interest debt and poor credit management, that is also an issue. Some of us, we have led debt-rigid life. Ilé ayé wa, ó ti jọ ilé ayé onígbèsè. And we must save ourselves from that. A gbọ́dọ̀ kú sínú gbèsè. Islam does not say we cannot owe debt, but it should be when it is unavoidable, when it's some most critical thing that are emergency, when it has to do with life and death, when it has to do with planned income to repay the debt as quickly as possible. Because that is what our religion encourages. What will I do to enter paradise if I've involved in Islamic jihad? Will I enter paradise? First say yes. Then he asked them to go and call them. If you owe debt, they will question you. You won't enter paradise rate until you pay your debt. And debt also makes the burden in the grave heavier. Abu Bakr Radhiyallahu was reported to have led a debt-free life. So let us learn to live a debt-free life. And that was one of the problems. Most family now, is either the husband that draw the whole family into debt, or the wife, or the children. We have to start acting in a reverse mode against that culture of lowering ourselves into debt. So we need to be very careful. And let us plan to pay our debt. Those of us that go and put our children in school that we cannot pay the school fees, let's go and remove them. Live below your means, not above your means. When you live above your means, you end up in debt. And those of us that like credit purchase, everything they bring in a place of work, blender on credit, you buy. Bed on credit, you buy. Chocolate on credit, you buy. Everything is on credit. You have to stop that kind of lifestyle. It's a problem. You have to solve the problem, please. And don't leave your family in debt. Because some of you don't even have access to pay your debt. And you must write your debt down according to Islamic. And the debt you are writing down must be the one you have planned how to pay. It's very important. Don't just write debt down for us. Write debt down that we cannot pay. So the best thing is to lead a debt-free lifestyle. May Allah make it easy for us. Insufficient retirement savings and long-term planning. See, this issue, I'll give you an example of a retirement the other time. If you don't cultivate the habit of, from your disposable income, you save, you invest, target investment, and you increase your saving, and it's a long-time endeavor. Retirement may not be easy. What are those things that can retire you? Death can retire you. Sickness can retire you. Age can retire you. Out of skill can retire you. Lack of innovation can retire you. Ailment can retire you. Accident can retire you. So why not plan for retirement? And the best retirement planning is as you are getting income in your golden age, start saving towards your retirement and start investing towards your retirement. If you buy some assets, every 5 years you can sell it to see how much you have made from that asset, not just buying assets that you cannot trace. So with household, inadequate budgeting is affecting our household financing system. We need to budget for everything we do. Poor communication is also affecting it. We need to collaborate with our children, to collaborate with our wife in doing it better. Insufficient expense tracking is also a problem. Ineffective debt management is a problem. Prioritize your debt. What are you going to owe debt on? House rent. Yes, you owe debt on getting new house rent. Why not create money to be paying that rent? Why not create a system that pay that rent easily for you through savings? Ajo, gbogbo. You have to increase your income generating abilities so that you can take care of so many debts. It's very important. And you must have what is taking care of every expense you have identified in your zero budgeting system. So lack of long-term financial planning also affects affect families. So I'm going to leave you with this golden rule. If you want to live a financial stress-free life, set financial goals and let it be smarter. Be specific about what you want in life, what you want every year. Let them be measurable. Let them be achievable. Let them be relevant to you. Don't do what everybody is doing. Do only what is relevant to you. You are a teacher, a realtor, somebody, you want to be owing money to be buying land. So the amount of the land is equal to your debt. So it doesn't make any sense. Review your expenses, review your financial plan, and read yourself at times. At times, you can take a trip. You can go and do Mura. You can take a family journey to Dubai. If you are doing below your means, live below your means so that you can save. And you can do that when you prioritize your need. You can do that when you avoid debt. So it's a golden rule. Create a comprehensive budget that takes care of all of your need, that identify your income, both autonomous, planned and unplanned income. Build an emergency fund. Invest wisely. Don't save money to go and be borrowing people. Save money for investment purpose and plug back your profit into other projects you want to achieve. And get back to the savings in order to grow your wealth. Eliminate high interest debt, maximize tax advantage account. So what do we mean by this? All these pension system, whatever, there are opportunities in those pension systems. They allow you now, if your pension is up to 5 million, you can go and do some investment. You can go and arrange with your pension administrator to do some real estate investment from your pension. It's not until you retire. So maximize all those things. There are some things you can do with the pension fund, even while you are still working. Once it has reached some amount, some flexibility has been done in Nigeria by Nigerian Senate in the last 4 years. So go and explore it. Diversify your income stream. You cannot rely on one income. When you hustle, you must know why you are hustling. And you must reduce your financial risks by diversifying where income comes from. At a time, that I'm talking, I have what I must do every week that take care of Owobe. I have what I must do every month that take care of Owo school. I have what I must do every month that take care of my landlord. So when you diversify income like that, in fact, at the time I was using generator, I have what I must do, that I must put fuel in my generator every day. As long as I'm doing that thing, I'll put on generator. So that's why you can't compare yourself and me. So you can't compare. Diversify your income stream, do it based on your ability, improve on your skills, and generate more money for the family need. Prioritize need over wants. I've mentioned it the other time. Don't just buy things like other people. Don't think like other people. Create a growth mindset that enable you to focus only on your need and grow gradually. Slow and steady win the race. You will get there. What people, life is like a tree of mango. You will see some mango, they will first ripe. Some will ripe later. So if some people have ripe now, leave them alone. You will ripe later. All you need is your financial plan. May Allah make it easy for us. Then you must monitor and adjust your plan as at when due. You can see COVID is a lesson for us that allows us that we must monitor and adjust our plan, especially when there's expediencies. So in short, zero-based budgeting starts from zero, and it emphasizes that every expense must be justified and what? Approved. Then budget is not the only thing you must do towards achieving financial discipline. Implementation of the budget is important. And implementation doesn't make any sense until you are able to control your expenses by looking at what is your actual performance against what you have budgeted. And continuous reporting, evaluation of what you do will also make your family a better one in terms of finance. One thing we must learn is that we cannot continue to do things the way we are doing it before. Peter Drucker once mentioned that the greatest danger in this time we are finding ourselves is to act with yesterday logic, is to think what you are doing 5 years ago will still work. It won't work. Could they work? Iṣẹ́ pension. To buy retire, you don't plan for yourself, you suffer. So it won't work. So yesterday logic does not work again. So you need to work with today's logic and innovation. Then Allah will not do for you what you can do for yourself. Then people may want to ask, all these things we are saying, how do I go about it? Where do I start? Start where you are. Start from what you can do this month. Start from this month if you have not done it before. Start planning your expenses. Start focusing on what you do. From now, start prioritizing what you spend. Stop emotional impulse spending, overspending right now. Use what you have. Start with your income. Start with what you have to plan your life. Allah will bless it for you. You have skill. Start from your skill. You have opportunity to learn more things. Go and learn more things, acquire more skills, and make more money. Use what you have. The small income you have, set it aside for personal development. Part of your budget should be for personal development. What you use to train yourself, to improve yourself, so that you can generate more income. That's an asset. I've said it earlier on. Then do whatever you can now, before the old age comes. Before you start blaming yourself, do whatever you can. So start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And that's what Allah bless what we have done so far. I want to thank all of you for your rapt attention. Moderators are.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wow, alhamdulillah. Before saying Jazakumullah khairan to our lecturer, or let me say, we can unmute and say Jazakumullah khairan kathira.
Jazakumullahu khairan kathira.
Thank you very much. So during the course of the lecture, our mother, who happens to be the mother of the day, in person of Ajia Basiro Onilegbale, she sent in a message apologizing for the whole house for joining late, which was due to the network challenge. We ask Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from all of us as an act of ibadah. Wow. I think I've learned a lot. I've picked a lot. What our lecturer was actually discussing, I think I and my spouse were actually picking our own, because fortunately we are deliberating on what's it called, Ileya festival, saying, oh, should we purchase the ram now? But luckily, I think our lecturer was able to give an insight to distinguish between what is urgent and important. So if I've not taken anything as a takeaway from this lecture, I think that one thing for me is just to identify the difference between urgency and importance. Jazakumullah khairan kathira. So without wasting much of our time, we'll move to questions and answer. So for those that will be interested, please you can signify while the chat box is also available for what's it called? While the chat box is also available for those that might be willing to send in their question. So please let us signify. Okay, I can see one hands up. Abdulaziz Akonde, I can see your hand. Who else? Okay, I can see Madam Sulaiman Babajide also. So please, Madam Abdulaziz, 1 minute, please. No summary, no greetings, no paraphrase. Please just go straight to the question. Thank you.
Coach, sir, on the retirement planning, how do we, is joining a cooperative, can it be considered a retirement plan? Or what do you think we can do? Can you tell us, maybe we can open an account with JAIS or those Sharia compliant banks, if probably they have a package that can help one build retirement savings and the rest. So that's my area. I want you to help me share light on.
Any other question? So that I can answer.
Okay, Madam Sulaiman Babajide.
Assalamu alaikum Slabakatu.
Madam Sulaiman Babajide.
Naam.
Okay, sorry.
I'm the one talking.
Sorry, don't worry.
Now, my question is that even though I joined quite late, but I don't know, maybe you might have talked on it, but I think I need clarification on that. And it's that I have this spending habit that if probably my family comes to me that I need this, I'll feel like I have to do it for them, even though it's out of my budget. or probably maybe other people, like maybe organization or any other person comes, I usually have this thinking of, oh, if I did not do it, it is what I give out that I'll get in Allah's on the day of judgment. Like the more I do, the more my rewards in Allah's sight. So that mentality is always there for me, that I sometimes I might find it difficult to say no, I don't have, or probably I just have to give something that I don't just want to say I don't have it, because I feel that mentality of the more I give out, the more my reward in Allah. Nǹkan tí mo bá ṣe ni màá lọ bá lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run, ṣé understand? And this saying that Ọlọ́run máa sọ pé I was hungry, I came, you did not give me. All those kind of things are always like on my head if people comes to me
Now,
and ask for. So what can I do to overcome that kind of thing regarding my body?
Jazakallah khair. Mrs. Sulaiman Babajiri for that. So, Malam Mustashomi, is it Malam Mustashomi or Ajia Mustashomi?
This is Musa Showman.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
we appreciate our lecturer for the well prepared lecture and delivery. My question is, do you consider investing in business as a retirement plan? You know, business, like we all know, anything could happen at any point in time. So it's not a sure guarantee kind of. So what do you have to say on that? Thank you.
Okay. Coach, over to you.
Okay,
Sorry,
thank you
I have a
very much.
question in the chat box, but maybe
Okay,
after you've dealt with the three, we can move on with
okay.
that.
We can look at that. Thank you very much for your question. All your questions are interesting questions and they are valid. Number one is that how do you go about your retirement plan? And that also answered the third person. Retirement plan is a robust plan. It's a robust planning structure. It's not about one thing. It's about how you want to lead your life at a particular age. You have to put a particular age. Like me now, I put 55 years. Me, I did not put Nigerian age. I put 55 years. If Allah allow me to spend 5 years in life, by 55, there are some things I want to be doing. One of it is to marry another wife. So I put 55 years there. all the traveling people have been doing, all the planning people all the traveling people have been doing since. I want to start my own that time with all my wives, one per trip. So it's a robust plan. It's beyond you don't need to wait for that time. You have to start now. If you are 40 years old now, your retirement plan is next. Your retirement plan is next 15 years. Whether you like it or not, if you are working in private sector, once you are 60 years, they will start telling you to go. So you know you are going to leave. So between now and that time, you have 15 years. What are you waiting for? You start now. So there are some aspects of your retirement plan that will be business, investment in business opportunities, joint venture, partnership that works. Those businesses that will be giving you money, you are a part owner. It's better to be part owner of 1,000 things than to be 1,000% of one thing. So that is an aspect. Your life saving, there must be a saving you do throughout life. You are not compromising. It might be an investment club, you put that money, 25,000 per month, 5,000 per month, and you save it for good 25 years. And somebody was giving the amount of that kind of money you save every month for 20 years, for 25 years. My brother, the money I'm talking about is millions in 20, 25 years. So if you have not started before, start where you are, start now. If you are thinking, where will the money come? Start with the money you have now and do whatever you can now. So start doing some investment deliberately because of your future. Start doing some long-time planning. That's what you can go and open bank account for. And you do it in a way that you do direct debit from your salary account. As your money is landing like this, you will have given the bank instruction between on the 25 and on the 10
of every month. Just remove 20,000 from my account. Wait. Once you see 20,000, remove it. Wait. So that's a long-time planning. So another aspect of it is your health and wellness. What arrangement do you have for your health? Because you need to change your lifestyle, what you eat. You need to plan for it. It must be in your retirement plan. Then, how would your old age look like when all your children have left? Who will take care of you? Are you going to be Babandagbe? So these are some of the things you need to plan for. So it's a robust plan. It's not one. If you join a cooperative and you think that cooperative is viable and can last long, like I know of some cooperative, they've been in a system for more than 35 years, like OU Teaching Hospital Cooperative. Some people have used it to achieve a lot of things. That kind of cooperative that is last long, and for those who have started, if you do it very well, can take care of your need in future. A cooperative that you can take as much as 10 million naira to fix a problem at old age, to start a cottage firm, a small firm. Then what business do you want to invest in? What do you want to use your skill for when you retire? These are part of your retirement plan. Your health, your investment plan, your saving plan, your family plan. How you want to take care of yourself so that you don't rely on children and anybody. Then somebody asked a question on plan versus emergency. See, the truth is, whether you like to be giving people money, Sodako should be part of your budget. Sodako should be part of your budget. In 2012, I plan for Sodako every month. I plan like 50% of my income for Sodako. And once that money has been exhausted, if I see MSS letter or I see any letter, I say, it's next month I can contribute. Because the budget for it this month has finished. And my wife also was aware of that. So plan for everything. Let it be in part of your monthly budget. What you want to spend on Sodako. And spending 10% on Sodako is not too much. 8% of Sodako is not too much of your total income, both your salary and other income. It's not too much. And you can also factor all those ones that always come without plan, or anyone that will go beyond what you have planned. You can factor in your emergency plan. So if your emergency plan is robust, is sufficient, you can borrow 5% from it. Because that emergency plan is actually for your car accident. If your car has problem or they steal your car, it's actually for health issue that you don't plan for that will be more than what you think. So those are the things for. It's for when your job is burgled by rogues and thieves. So you don't dig into it all the time, but plan for Sodako in your budget, and you can also take a few percentage of your emergency plan to do it. And all those mentality about why you are doing it, that's the spiritual aspect of our life. There's nothing wrong with it. But what we are saying is that plan that thing. Allah will not do for man what he has not strived. He has not striving for. So you need to strive for what you want to get from Allah. Don't just take that mentality, hook, line, and sinker like that. But let's plan for it. Let's plan for Sadaqah. Let's plan for Zakat. Let's plan for everything we want to do. And that is how a Muslim life should be. A Muslim life, a Muslim person, a Muslim personality is organized in his affair. And part of it is budget and plan for everything you want to spend money on. And that make it easy for us.
Amin. Thank you so much. Jazakumullah khair. I think lastly, we want to sincerely appreciate each and every one of us for joining this monthly forum. In fact, it's so astonishing to say that we still have a total of 54 participants as at this time. We sincerely appreciate you. Consistent recruitment. Okay, just 1 minute for your question, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. My question is that for the benefit of those of us that join late, and for those of us that want to go through the program again, do we have a recorded fraction of this program? That's my question, sir. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Yes, there's usually a recorded version. While after the program, we will definitely circulate the link to where you can have a place where you can actually listen to the lecture. So there is that will be circulated immediately after the program. So without wasting,
there's a question in the chat box.
Oh, okay.
And
Sorry for
it is
that.
about, I'm reading it. Let me read it. Is there any golden rule on what percentage should I allocate to housing feeding? There is no golden rule. but prioritize it. Prioritize your housing, prioritize your feeding. You can work with actual amounts. When you put all those priority spending together, what percentage do they occupy in your total income? That is when percentage can now come in. But prioritize your house rent so that you don't borrow money to pay house rent all the time, and make it a monthly deduction. Prioritize your feeding so that you pay money to buy pure water. Also set money aside for your house rent on a monthly basis. So that at the end of the 12 months, you can pay ECD. Thank you.
Jazakumullah khairan kathira. So we can all go into the chat box, click on the YouTube link for us to see the recording session. I must sincerely say that at least we really enjoyed this monthly forum. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to sincerely guide each and every one of us. Our able lecturer in person of Malam Ayola, let me say Mr. Abdulwasi Ayola, popularly known as Coach. Indeed, we sincerely appreciate you for bringing your top-notch understanding in dealing with this topic. We say Jazakumullah khairan to everyone. Lastly, due to the month of Ramadan, which is forthcoming, which we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make each and every one of us witness in good health and sound, we'll be taking a brief break in the month of Ramadan. So we won't be having the monthly forum during the month of Ramadan. So let's watch out immediately after Ramadan for the flyers, for the information. We say Jazakumullahu khairan kaseera. Lastly, we can see the screen that is being displayed saying the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, it is to act with yesterday's logic. That's very deep, very deep. So tonight we'll be drawing the curtain of this monthly forum edition, specially organized by the MSSN Lagos Milan Area Council Legacy Forum, by saying Jazakumullahu khairan kathira to everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah wal asr.
Bismillah.
You can unmute. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إلى الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. صلوا على النبي الكريم.
Please, we also want to encourage everybody to follow our YouTube channel. We want to use this opportunity to encourage everybody to follow our YouTube channel, MSSN Lagos and Lagos Midland Area Council Legacy Forum on YouTube. You'll find all our recordings there. Even previous lectures, you'll find them there. You also find this one there.
Strategy, Baba. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Abdulwasi.
Naam, wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam. Ẹ kújọ́ mẹ́ta.
Ìjọba pẹ̀lú.
Family ńkọ́?
Allahu Akbar. A dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run, alhamdulillah.
Malam Tunde Gbaja. Assalamu alaikum. Ustaz Sabado Lukman.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Malam Sabah. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Musa Dambili, Dambilat. Mulekudat. We say Assalamu alaikum to brother. Malam Maruf Mustafa, Sister Kafayat Jima. We say Assalamu alaikum to every one of us. Thank you for joining.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Amayabeji, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you?